Google Presentations is a simple tool for creating flipped content for your students. It's part of Google Docs, and you will need a Google account to use it. A Google presentation is like a PowerPoint presentation that you create and view online. We'll break down Google Presentations into these 5 steps. For step 4, inserting a picture, will include some instruction on using pictures in a way that does not violate copyright. I've made a presentation in Google Docs about animals of the Sonoran Desert. So we'll look at it. I go up to the upper right corner and click Start Presentation. And here's slide 1. I can go down to the lower left corner and click to go to the next slide, and it gives me some information about what kind of animals can live in the Sonoran Desert. Click to go to the next slide, we see a coyote. Click to the next slide, we see a Gila monster. And the final slide is a desert tortoise. And on every page that there's a picture, there's also a hyperlink at the bottom of the slide, and if you click on that hyperlink, it will take you to the web page where we found the picture, and later I'll explain why that's important. We're going to start making a Google presentation in Google Docs. So I'm going to google.com. I need to sign in to my Google account. So I click Sign In, type the email address and the password for my Google account. I click Sign In. Near the top of the screen, I'm going to click on Documents. I'm in Google Docs. On the left side of the screen, I click Create, and a Create menu appears. I'm going to click on Presentation. And Google Docs will ask me to choose the theme for my presentation, so I'm going to click on Simple Dark and click OK. Now I'm ready to start working on my presentation. Now I want to give my presentation a title, and this is just for my information. This is not the title that's going to appear on the slide. It's just going to a title that's going to appear in the files in Google Docs. So I click Untitled Presentation, where it says Rename Document, enter a new document name. Where it says Untitled Presentation, I'm going to type Animals of the Sonoran Desert. Animals of the Sonoran Desert 3. I click OK. And now where it says Click to Add Title, I'm going to click there. And I'm going to type the text for the very first slide of my presentation, which is Animals of the Sonoran Desert. Where it says click to add subtitle, I don't want to type anything in there, and I can just leave it alone. That's not going to appear on the slide. But if I want to get rid of it, I can just click on it, and then click on the border, and then click backspace on my keyboard to get rid of it. On the left, I'll see the thumbnails of my presentation. I just have one thumbnail, one slide. I'm going to right-click on it and left-click on Duplicate Slide. Now I'm going to click on the text in the slide, highlight it. It's hard to see the highlighting because of the black background, but it is highlighted. Click Backspace, and now I'm going to type some information about animals of the Sonoran Desert. So now I've created one more slide. Google Docs will save the presentation automatically, so I never have to save it. Now we'll insert a picture of a coyote, but we're going to insert a picture that is licensed for reuse and modification as long as we give credit to the owner. If I did a regular image search in Google for a picture of a coyote, I would find millions of pictures, but most of them would be copyrighted. If I used one in my presentation, I would be breaking copyright law. I probably wouldn't get caught, but that doesn't make it any less wrong. But Google Presentations has a way to make sure the pictures I use don't violate copyright. I'm going over to the thumbnail of slide 2, right-click on it, left-click on duplicate slide. So now I've got a slide 3. I'm going to go over to the slide and delete the text. And now I'm going to type coyote. And I'm going to grab the text box by the side and drag it up a little bit. Now I want to find a picture of a coyote. In the menu bar, I click Insert, Image, and Google Presentations gives me several ways to search for an image. I'm going to choose Google Image Search. In the search box, I'll type coyote, click the search button, and it returns quite a few pictures. Not all of them are of coyotes, at least not coyote animals, but all of these pictures are licensed for reuse and modification as long as I give credit to the owner. So I'm going to click on this picture of the coyote looking at the camera, and as soon as I click on it, I see a URL at the bottom of the window, and this URL is the web page where this picture is found. And I want to put this URL on my slide so I can give credit to the owner of this picture. So I'm going to highlight this URL and then right-click and left-click copy. And now I've still got this picture of the coyote selected, so I click Select, and it'll take a few seconds, but the picture will appear in my slide. And I'm going to grab it by a handle on the corner to make it smaller. I might bring the word up a little higher. Sometimes when you bring in a picture, you might want to crop it. Unfortunately, there is no cropping tool in Google Presentations. You'll have to crop it in some other program. So here's the picture. The last thing I want to do is paste that URL onto the slide. And if I just try to right-click on the slide and click Paste, it'll tell me that doesn't work. I need to use Control-V on my keyboard. Or if it's a Mac, it's Apple V or Command-V. So I'm going to press Control-V on my keyboard, and there's the URL. I'm going to make the text box a little smaller. And then I'm going to click, hold, and drag it down to the lower left corner. So now I've used this picture of the coyote, and I've given credit to the owner by putting the URL of the original web page on my slide. I finished my Google presentation about animals of the Sonoran Desert. I'm going to click on Start Presentation and just click through it to make sure everything looks okay. And now I can X out of the full screen version. And now I want to publish my presentation so my students will have access to it. And there's an important difference in Google presentations between publishing and sharing. In the upper right corner, if I click on Share, and then I click on Change, I can make my Google presentation public on the web, and that means anybody who has the link could edit it. but I don't want anybody else to edit it. I just want my students to be able to see it. So I'm going to click Cancel, Done. And now to publish it, I'm going to go up to my menu bar in Google Presentations and click on File, Publish to the Web. And then click Start Publishing. Are you sure you want to publish this document? I click OK. And it gives me a link and an embed code. And for right now, we'll just stick with showing you how the embed code works. If I click on the, we'll just stick to showing you how the document link works. If I click on the document link, I select it, I can right-click on it and copy it. I'll close this Publish to the Web window. If I open a new tab in my web browser and paste the URL for my published link, so now a student, if I gave them the link, would be able to go on the web and find my presentation.